Jason knew there was no run, and you hear the call, wait, telling his partner that I'm in charge, we in control here. And that's a very good and positive sign for a batter, is that when the shoulders are out, the voice then becomes loud. He's here to score some runs. He means business.
Rechter to niemand. You'll have to bowl that one again. And yeah, also psychologically, when the batters are doing that, showing some dominance, then the opposition will just drop their heads. So it's good that you get a batter that will own that crease.
Yes.
Rechter to niemand. Great shot. And it's going to beat the man at third man. That's 4 runs for Jason Niemand.
Jason Niemand and Nathan Rook complementing one another very well here today. It's not runs from one batsman or from one end. They're both doing it, both contributing towards the total, both building a partnership, looking very good together.
Yeah, that was the end of the 6th over, and the score now is 39-1. And the good thing is the communication between the two batters. And that goes a long way. And also those caucuses in between. When one player is starting to drop the head, then the other one will just share him up. Cele to Roo. Well bowled, well played.
There's a time where batsmen look like they're using a cricket bat, and there's a time where you look at a batsman and it looks like they're using a door. You know, Nathan Root today, everything is coming out the middle. It's as if he's batting with a door.
Yeah, both batters. That's what I've noticed, Ossie. And it shows those are good signs. Cele to Roo. Scampers through for a single. I like it when the batsman is hitting the middle of the bat. It tells you the form they're in. Cele to niemand. Dot ball.
The Badgers here have got to come up with a plan of how to get wickets. Or if they're not getting wickets, come up with a plan of how to drive the runs, to create a little bit of pressure on the batting team.
Yeah, they've tried to drop the pace from the word go, and that didn't work out. So they will definitely have to dig a little deeper. Otherwise the game is slowly moving away. And you could say that the home team has won the first round, the power play. And they're sitting on 40 now after 6 overs. Cele to niemand. Yeah, maybe another thing the Badgers should have done was, while they were still batting, to assess the right areas to bowl at, so that when it's their time to bowl, they don't battle a lot. Cele to niemand. off the hips for a single. And that concludes the 7th over, and the score now is 41 for 1. Looks like there's gonna be some change in combs. OC is making way for blessings. Is it blessings or blessing? I can guess it.
It's one blessing.
Oh, not blessings.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am a mere mortal. I am just one blessing to my parents.
You are not coming in twos.
Coming in twos is exactly what the 6 Gun Grill Garden Route badges would be hoping for. They would hope that wickets come in twos now because they are in desperate need.
Unfortunately, as we see, Sintu Machiza will come from the graveyard end. Things don't just happen here, you have to make them happen, Kengisi.
A player like Majiza might just be the best person for the job. He will be a bit more motivated than the rest of the SWD bat bowlers because he is a local boy. I was speaking to some of the analysts here for the game, and they're saying that he is from a little known area in Middledrift called Debenek.
Okay. That one will go for 4 runs. Nick that one is Jason Niemand and went to no man's land.
Yeah, he earned that, Jason Niemand. The strong start that him and Nathan Rue have accumulated for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi. It forced the 6 Gun Grill Garden Route badges to only employ one slip, and fortunately for him it went past to the area where second slip would be.
No run there. Yeah, I know a couple of Machizas, and there was one who was a scorer, Leah Machiza. And there was another Machiza I was playing with at Buffs. So it's true when you say he's coming from this area.
So it's a cricketing family, the Majizas. Now he is looking to make his family proud, but I'm sure they are torn between supporting him and supporting the Eastern Cape Iinyathi.
And also it's lovely to see Tando's father on the sidelines to come support his son. He's the legend, is off duty today. Sintu to Niemand. Short one. Great running. They've just turned for the second and done that successfully so. .47. Great running in between the wickets.
As we see Makaya Ntini on screen, as we said, Thando Ntini's father was playing for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi, yeah?
Yeah, and also he's with his Willows guys, and that's the end of the 8th. 47 for 1. As we see there is with Tsama Kumbangi. They all play for Willows. Maybe they are not playing today, so they decided to come watch the Iinyathi playing.
Yeah, maybe Willows have a bye, but also they are out of contention in the league in the moment. I see that United Cricket Club is still in a prime position to win the Border Premier League 40 over competition.
Why 40 overs, Gengesi?
I'm sorry, it's the 50 over competition.
Great running there in between the wickets. 2 more before they get to 50. Nathan Rowe is on 22. Jason Niemand on 21.
The total for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi is creeping up to 50 now, and the required run rate is a shade on the 6. And that's impressive.
There's a man on the boundary. Looks like Elder. Jason loses his wicket. Does not look happy at all with that, but it departs. And the score now on the board is 48 for 2.
Jason Newman continues the trend that we've seen in today's game of set batsmen throwing away their wickets. He couldn't have timed that better. It went straight to the man on the deep square leg boundary.
Yeah, if you're checking the comparison, the ball that was straight on middle, he took it from middle to the onside, only to find a fielder there. And that will send Copeland to the middle.
It's a chance for Michael Copeland to have some time out in the crease. Different situation to be coming out in. He's not trying to post a total now. He is with a stable batsman in his captain, Nathan Rowe. He'll be trying to keep him calm and tell him that they have all the time in the world to make an impact here.
Yeah, we've got a game on here, Gengesi. What the Iinyathi is doing, they're scoring the runs, and the Badgers are saying, we're taking the wickets.
It's a nice situation to be in, especially for us neutrals here. And also, with every wicket that falls, the Eastern Cape Iinyathi will get further and further away from getting that all-important bonus point. Because when you lose wickets, it's only natural that you also drop the run rate.
Copeland to take on Cele. Hitting the pads, asking questions. The umpire does not seem to be interested.
Yeah, the umpire signaled that ball might have made contact with the bat before it went onto the pad. But to me, it looked more like it was sliding down leg.
Yeah, it's looking like it would going down leggies. And that's the pressure new batters will get when they come to bat while it's still the power play. Cele, Copeland. Rocking back. He'll get 2 runs for that.
That's been the most frustrating thing of the day. The batters have been playing some wonderful shots, and then after some time, they just mess it up and give their wickets away.
Yeah, that was 50 up for the home team. 50 runs for 2 wickets.
50 for 2 after 8 for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi.
Yeah, great shot selection there by Copeland. They keep forgetting the batters that there's a guy there patrolling the boundary. So it's wise to roll the wrist and hit it on the ground.
You must also be wary of the guy standing at mid-wicket. Looks like George van Heerden. Because he's one of the better fielders in this SWD team.
I still reckon if you hit it on the ground, you're still okay. And that's the end of the over. 50 runs on the board for the loss of 2 wickets.
they'd be wise here, the Eastern Cape Iinyathi batters, to reset, especially after the end of this coming over. It'd be wise to reset. They still have time. They can still build their innings. There's not much change in the weather conditions here at Buffalo Park. There's no sun, yes, but there's not much wind there on the ground. And the pitch still looks to be in pristine condition.
Machiza to Nathan Rue. Misses out on that one. Shot was on, but he just missed the ball. Didn't time it.
Yeah, that ball perhaps didn't bounce as much or come up as high as Nathan Rue was expecting. And that, for me, signals for Majiza to try and get closer to the stumps and perhaps find a length that's similar to that one.
Rotating the strike nicely there is Nathan Rue. Exposing now Copeland to Majiza.
He's not the quickest bowler going around Majiza, but he is able to nip it back and away from the batsman. So his pace might be deceptive, or it might be deceptive as a bowler because his pace is not that high.
And also I think his action when he's delivering, I think he's got some slingering action. Through the covers, outfield is quick. Elder, the ball wins the race. Elder won't get that one. And that's 4 runs for Copeland.
Yeah, that's not very good fielding from the fielder from the 6-gun Girl Garden Route Badgers. Cost his team vital runs there.
I think his action is same as Mutwa.
Yeah, you're right.
Well bowled, well played.
Yeah, you're right. It looks
Funny action, and some would say at times they're busy chucking.
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is retired. These guys.
It's a funny way they hold up the ball and the wrist, and
It's rare that you see slingers who don't have much pace to offer. Because it really doesn't seem like his pace is troubling the batters. Machiza.
yeah, you'll have to ask the right questions, hit the right areas, and force the batters to make mistakes.
The ball doesn't seem to be moving much in the air, so right areas are the way to go.
Charges down. I hope it didn't do much damage on Machiza, that one. And that's the end of the 10th, and brings the end of the first power play, and the score on the board is 56 for the loss of 2. There's a big difference between the two teams. But it's not how you start, but how you finish.
The Eastern Cape Iinyathi are 5 overs ahead of where the SWD were at the same stage.
Yeah, Badgers were 29 for 2 after 10.
And they were only able to get to 56 after 15 overs, having lost the same number of wickets.
Yeah, like I said here, the runs are for the home team. I fumbled that one. It would have been interesting if he picked that ball cleanly.
Yeah, it looks like Carl Jacobs there on the mid-on circle. That's what happens when you put pressure on the fielders. Fielder's fumble.
As we see some field changing. Sweeper goes to the boundary. Fine leg on the boundary. Sweeper coming back now to the circle. Deep backward point. No run.
Yeah, he needs to keep it at that length, really. Preferably for him, or ideally for him, just outside off stump, but keep that length. He can't be bowling it up with everyone inside the circle in front of the wicket.
Cele to Nathan Roo. Drives. There's a man covering up. Would be very interesting of the Badgers to sneak in a wicket here.
That would put them in a very, very good position. And it would test the middle order of the Eastern Cape Iinyathi as well. To check, to see how well they cope with the pressure of having to score just under 200 runs.
And also that would mean Christian Dutoy won't be able to play the same game he played previously.
Yeah, it's the same thing we mentioned. It's a similar point to what we mentioned about Heath Richards from SWD, because he had to play a different style of game when he was having a partnership with Pico Moletsane. He came in too early in the innings and he had to build an innings instead of just launching off the platform his team had laid for him.
We see the Rowan Richards. He's busy chatting with the guys from Alert. He's a big man, and last season he got a call up to go assist the A side in India. Good things happening for him. Cele to Roo. Great bowling by Cele. And that's the end of the 11th. The score is 57 for the loss of 2.
Yeah, that was very good bowling from Zele, because only one run came off that over, and you could see by the end Nathan Roo was trying to do something with his feet just to try and create some sort of angle or to negate the length that Zele was bowling, because he was bowling back of the length a lot.
Yeah, I think that is what the wicket has been demanding. see Majiza coming back to the attack. Majiza to Copeland. That was wide. You have to hold it one again.
He's got protection on the sweeper boundary on the offside. There's Majiza. That's why he's so comfortable with bowling that kind of line. But he did stray a bit too much to the offside.
But as per his fielding, he's supposed to bowl back of the length. Shot. Piercing the gap. There's a guy on the boundary patrolling there. Saved 2 runs.
That's another instance of the Eastern Cape Iinyathi batters utilizing their feet to try and create a better length for themselves, but Sintu Majiza was wise to it and he pulled back his length some more.
Majiza to Copeland. Full face of the bat. No run.
You wonder just how much those dropped catches from the Eastern Cape Iinyathi will count against them towards the end of this game, because it could shape up to be a close game in the end. You wonder just how much those buys that went past the keeper and those overthrows will count towards the end.
Short. But there's a protection there on the boundary. Yeah, you could say they threw away about 30 to 40 extra runs here. Should they have taken all the chances they got?
And the issue is, it was not even hard chances. Some of those chances were routine.
Great bowling there by Majiza. Nathan Rowe is leading from
game has hit a bit of a lull just after the first power play. It could be good for either team depending on which team keeps their concentration longer.
Turn back for two. Done that successfully. 2 runs for the captain.
Yeah, you could see from the shape that Nathan Root took after he made contact with that ball that he was always looking to hit it over the man at mid-wicket.
And that's exactly what Machiza is wanting. That they must hit him over. Overboard. And the score now is 62 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Partnership for this stinky Iinyathi is still in its infancy, 14 runs, but they will be happy that those of those 14, 11 have been contributed by Michael Copeland. So it looks as if he has come in and took like a duck to water. Hasn't needed any time to settle in.
Cele to Copeland.
Yeah, we spoke about him settling in or not needing to settle in because he was already set there. And that speaks of that confidence that he came in. Not sure if Cele did himself any damage there, but he seems to be up now.
As a big boys don't cry too. He's got a game to win here for his team. Cele to Copeland. Hitting the ground. And Cele was the only one interested there for his second. Keeper fazed by that.
The interesting thing about that delivery is that the previous one fairly overpitched, and Copeland was halfway expecting Zele to go back off the length once more, but he went even fuller and he played that on the back foot or with his weight on the back foot.
Short ball and a wide.
So with the feel that Zele has now, you would not be expecting him to bowl full. And after being punished, you expect him to move back of the length, but he went even fuller. And if that bowler straightened the stumps, it would have been curtains for Michael Copeland.
Hitting the big man. You can see now that Zele is fighting. There's some aggression, is not happy. After this ball you're talking about, he came back trying to bowl with pace on, but unfortunately his head fell away and then he bowled a wide ball. And you can see now he's trying to bend his back. Zele to rule. Picked the length quite easily, but couldn't time the gap.
Yeah, but he will be feeling confident, even more confident after that attempted shot was for Nathan Rue.
But as per the replay, Kingesi, I think if he played that one straight, there was gonna be value for his shot. Rocking back, punching it off the back foot there, will get one. And now moves to 26.
Yeah, Copeland not that far behind on 25, on 15 of 15 deliveries, and it's a much better approach from him because earlier on in the season it didn't seem like he was being aggressive enough. CSA under 19 level. He was a very aggressive batsman, Michael Copeland.
And that's the end of the 13th. The score is 71 for the loss of 2. Just sitting here, Genghis, wondering when are they maybe going to drop the pace again. You don't have much runs on the board. So you would like to try whatever it takes for you to get wickets.
Well, their spinners are not big turners off the ball. So really it's just about whether or not they will be able to hit the right lengths and use the right pace.
We'll bowl that one again.
We spoke of how Gaudi Molefe was able to vary his pace in his spell, and also Molefe, in a pitch like this that doesn't offer much, he was able to get something because he is a big turner of the ball. But Liam Alder isn't.
No run there. But I think ideally the plan is to drop the pace, Kengesi, so that they are not used to the same pace. Now they're using pace bowlers. Drop the pace, hitting the right areas. You flight it, you dart it. You just play with the variations. And it will work wonders. Great shot! Downtown is Copeland for 4 runs.
He is looking like he means business. Michael Copeland. Full presentation of the face. Head completely still when he made contact with that ball.
And actually, I've been coming to the games that Iinyathi are playing. This is one of the best games I've watched him played. Playing good cricket shots. No run there.
This game he is operating purely as a batsman.
Yeah, and the technique is there. He's understanding that they lost 2 early wickets. So now what you're saying comes to play now. His role is purely a batsman. So he must think like a top order batter. Playing straight, playing on the V, got all the shots.
It's just yet another delivery from Sintu Machiza that kept low, but unfortunately for him, the ones that are keeping low are the ones that are also far from the stumps. He's hoping for one of those balls to go keep low and he crashed through the stumps.
Yeah, the amount of extras they're accumulating, it's not on. It's one of the things the coach won't be happy with. Yeah, he'll have to be spot on and be on the money. Machiza to Copeland. Asking questions there.
Yeah, we spoke earlier on when he just came on for his spell into Machiza, saying that at that pace You can't afford to be missing your lines and your lengths. And so far, it's been a mixed bag in terms of what he's offering or what he's presenting to the batters.
Machiza to Copeland. Misses his length there. Copeland will get a single.
That was a full toss, and Michael Copeland, I'm sure, will be disappointed that he wasn't able to make full use of that.
And that was the end of the 14th, and the score now is 78 for the loss of 2.
A change in bowlers also means a change in commentary. Liam Alder is about to take over from Banele Cele from the Bunkers Hill end, and Aussie takes over takes over from Jack. I saw you were taking some notes there, Os. And 14 overs into the run chase, the Eastern Cape Iinyathi once again have seemed to wrestle back control. The partnership now on 31. Oh, what happened there? There was a spongy area there on the pitch, on the side pitches. So, how's your assessment so far?
Thanks, gangs. Good afternoon to all the viewers and listeners. Yeah, the game is well set up. It's set up in the manner that the Badgers, who are the fielding side, aren't making any means to get wickets. They are on the back foot waiting for something to happen.
That was extremely close. Felt like an unnecessary run from Michael Copeland, and it was his call. He was running to the danger end, and it would have been interesting to see whether or not, had that ball made direct contact with the stumps, he would have been safe. But it also speaks to the positivity that the Eastern Cape Iinyathi batters are employing. They are trying to keep the scoreboard ticking.
Yeah, as I was saying, Kings, I think the fielding side is being on the back foot and they're waiting for something to happen. You know, they're being reactive. In order to move the game forward as you want to, you need to be proactive. You know, you need to start looking to do things differently rather than just doing the same thing and hoping for a change.
Yeah, you're right. Not much threat coming from the bowling attack. I'd rather call them a bowling group now instead of a bowling attack, because they're not really on the offensive. As we end the 15th over, the score is 84 for 2. Michael Copeland and Nathan Rue going at a steady pace. The rate achieved is 5.6. The Eastern Cape Iinyathi batters will know for sure that there's still a lot of cricket to be played. 169 runs is no easy feat.
The importance of a Michael Copeland contributing with the runs is vital for the balance of this Iinyathi batting lineup. You know, Lihle Sizani has showed his hand. Nathan Rue, the captain, has showed his hand. So for Michael Copeland batting at 4, his contributions with the bat are vital, because it speaks to what I spoke about earlier about that middle order being allowed to play with freedom. So if he's out there scoring runs and feeling good, it's good for the team. And today he's looking the part. He looks settled, and his decision making is top class. So long may that continue for the benefit of the team.
Well, the leg spin of Carl Jacobs is into the attack now for the 6 Gun Grill Garden Route badges, and he'll certainly be hoping to be an X factor for his team. We're talking about them not being offensive enough. It doesn't get more offensive than employing a leg spinner.
Very interesting run up here from Jacobs. He starts straight and then veers off to about cover, and then brings himself straight again.
It looked like a googly there from Jacobs, but it was a bit too short to trouble the batsman, to put his mind, or to put him into two minds. Once again, Nathan Rue misses out there. Was a half tracker. It was a half tracker, and unfortunately for him, he couldn't get himself into position soon enough. He tries to go for it again, and it's going to be a tough one for Thailand. He drops it. He never looked comfortable because of the wind that you see here at Buffalo Park. He never looked comfortable under that ball. The Shaolin Master unfortunately couldn't hang on to that one.
Having a leg spinner is a great attacking weapon, but if the leg spinner is not on song and not on rhythm, they can bowl 1 or 2 overs and get taken off the attack, because if it's not coming right out the hand, you just don't know where it's going.
Yeah, I hear a lot from coaches saying that leg spinners are confidence bowlers. I wonder if that's what you're getting to.
So I was a half leg spinner myself, and I know from first hand that on your day it can be great, but when it's not your day, you don't want ball in hand.
We'll carry on with that right after the drinks break. The umpires have decided to call it after 16 overs. The score is 88 for 2. Eastern Cape Iinyathi once again will not like the fact that they have to go into a drinks break, having had the momentum for the past 25 minutes. We'll be back right after this. We are back. Liam Alder is about to continue from the Bunkersville end right after the drinks break. This Eastern Cape Iinyathi are 88 for 2 after 16. And we have seen something happen every time we've had a drinks break. And the home side will be hoping none of that comes to fruition this time. But for the 6-gun Grow Garden Route Badgers, it was a time to re-energize themselves and to re-strategize.
Important that after the drinks break, the two Iinyathi batters don't hold back. Still carry on collecting the runs, keeping it above 5 and over.
He will be disappointed with that, Nathan Rue. Yes, it's a wide, but it was a chance for him. If he got any bat on that, it would have probably ran away.
You know, the joys of being a finger spinner. You know, you take a couple of steps, roll your arm over, no one complains. The difficulties of being a wrist spinner, on the other hand.
As
It's
a
chalk and
half
cheese.
leggy yourself, you would know.
It's chalk and cheese.
It's looking good, as Michael Copeland is looking good.
No, he must draw a lot of confidence from this innings. You know, I know he's not, hasn't achieved any milestones yet, but just the way he's moving and the way he's hitting the ball, you know, he's finding gaps, he's hitting the ball under his eyes. Take a lot of confidence from it.
They told Sintu Majiza to go down immediately there because they knew if he tried to get in a foot race with the ball, there was only going to be one winner. Last ball of the Slim Alder over. Last ball of the first over after drinks. They have put a man in that short or silly mid-off position. 17 overs gone. The score is 93 for 2. A player like Carl Jacobs, as you said before we went to the break, is very much a confidence bowler, like most leg spinners are. He gets it wrong a lot, but every time he gets it right, it looks magical.
So first and foremost, as a leggy, you try and your first 2 overs, you plug all the holes. So where am I going to get hit if I get it wrong? Because in that first 2 overs, you're not quite sure. So you plug those holes first, and then as you get into your rhythm, then you start attacking.
Do you think it hinders him in any way, having that sort of run-up? Or is he building enough steam in those few steps just before he bowls?
So this is all about rhythm, about angles, and about momentum. You know, so ideally you'd want him going one direction and bowling the ball and following the ball. So this run-up could have some sort of impact on his bowling style. And if not on the bowling style, definitely on the consistency of how he bowls.
That's very, very close. Benny Hansen with his head in his hands because he believed if he had gotten that to hit the stumps, he would have got Michael Copeland out. even on the replays, it looks like he would have been stone dead. It would have been daylight between him and safety. It's very important to keep your concentration after the drinks break.
So, like I said, half leggy myself, and at schoolboy level, leggy is that ball, and they pitch it up and they turn it. They never get wickets. It's always oohs and ahs. But should they bowl a long hop or full toss, that's the wicket-taking ball.
And it almost proved to be in his first over just before drinks. Carl Jacobs ends his second over, and we get to a 50-run partnership between Michael Copeland and Nathan Rue. Michael Copeland with the lion's share, 30 runs, and Nathan Rue 14, 6 extras in the partnership. The score is 98 for 2 after 18. Copeland going at just under a runner ball, 30 of 32 deliveries, 36 of 46 for Nathan Rue, playing the situation. Once again, he tries to play that down the leg side. Umpire calls it a wide, and he will be disappointed once more, because any contact with the bat, that would have gone for a 4. Plays it down the ground, straight to the man on the long off boundary. This partnership is becoming extremely dangerous for the 6-gun Grail Garden Route Badgers, and they need to find a solution here. Plays that one on the back foot, does Michael Copeland, which is not advised once you're playing against especially someone like Liam Aldo, who tries to dart some of these balls in.
I think that you back your own skill. If you're good at watching a ball all the way to the bat, then why not?
Another easy single for Nathan Rue, the captain of the Eastern Cape Iinyathi. Moves on to 38 runs of 48 deliveries.
There are games with a run rate right now being at 5.5, and they've got 4 boundary riders out. The batting side doesn't have to do anything outside of the norm for them to start collecting runs. And here they bring in now the fielders just to challenge the batters to say, here we go, so do something different, score runs elsewhere.
It's very good fielding to keep Michael Copeland on strike and to accumulate a dot ball, something that has not been easy for the Garden Route Badgers to achieve. But they are dropping mid on to long on now, and straight to that area. Just as you said, they are not helping themselves at the moment, or the 6-gun Grail Garden Route Badgers.
Yeah, so if we just do the maths here quickly. So for the next 10 overs, if the Iinyathi get 4 and over of singles, they score at 4 runs, 40 runs in 10 overs, which doesn't help the Badgers at all.
They are gifting the game away at the moment, are the Garden Route Badgers. Not enough fielders around the wicket.
Yeah, so if you started plugging those holes, those ones become dot balls. The pressure to the batters, you start wanting to search for boundaries, making a mistake, and that's when you lose your wicket. When you're just being gifted 4 runs and over nilly-willy, you're going to take it, and you're going to sit to the other side and go, we'll just keep collecting the ones because they've been given to us. So up until something changes, the batting side don't have to change anything right now.
Yeah, we're 1 over shy of 20 overs. The score is 104 for 2. Kyle Jacobs is going to continue from the Buffalo Park Drive end. And he also doesn't have much protection in terms of the singles. He has 4 boundary riders, 1 on the sweeper on the offside, 1 sweeper on the leg side, long on and long off. Yet another easy single for Nathan Rue. And you're right, they don't even need to try and find the pockets now because they are going at a rate that's much better than the required one. If we can just keep hitting those boundary riders, those sweepers, you're going to win the game easily. But we have been speaking about how in this game, for virtually the entire match so far, whenever a team has gotten to this kind of position, we've seen one of the batters throw their wicket away.
And that is very frustrating for the coach. You know, when you look at the scorecard, you see out of your top 6, 4 guys that are in between, 30 and 45. Even though you win the game, you still want your 2 out of your top 6 batters to score big runs. Because when it comes to crunch time, you need someone to score a big 100 to set up the game. I also think just analyzing Jacobs' action here, it'll restrict him in terms of how much turn that he gets on the ball. So bowling leg spin is about getting the revs on the ball, allowing the ball to spin sideways. So with this action, he'll get turn, but it won't be anything drastic because his action is working against one another. You know, so as a leggy, you want your momentum going towards the batsman and then away from the batsman, and that's where the ball goes as well. So now he's bowling and he's going the complete opposite way, but also giving information to the ball that it must turn away. So there's a bit of confusion that's happening, and he'll struggle for consistency and he'll struggle for big turn as well.
Jacobs is about to bowl his last ball of the over. He had been keeping them quiet for the past 3 balls, but finally Nathan Rue is able to get that single and he will get to keep strike as well. Score is 107 for 2 after 20. A direct comparison, at this exact stage, the Badgers were on 83 for the loss of 3 wickets. The Eastern Cape Iinyathi passed their 100 already, 107 for 2. There wasn't much of an acceleration for the Badgers towards the end of the innings, but they were able to bat for most of those overs, and that's what the Eastern Cape Iinyathi will try to do here. Take the game as deep as possible.
As we see a bowling change here, so the spin combination hasn't worked for the fielding side, so now they're going back to their opening bowler Richter. Both 3 overs, 1 for 22. Hopefully from the opposite end he's going to find different lines, different lengths, and he's going to pose some sort of threat to the batsman.
Back of the end, Nathan Rue gets that ball past the man in the cover region. There was a half chance there for the fielder. Perhaps if he was a bit taller, or if he had someone who was a bit taller in that area, he would have gotten there.
Maybe a combination of Jonty Rhodes and Ricky Ponting, added with a little bit of A.B. de Villiers would have gotten there.
Maybe the height of Marco Jansen. Much easier for Nathan Rue now to just work it down the leg side, and 3 runs off the first 2 balls of the over.
Even with the change now, with the seamer coming back on, there's still a lot of holes out in the field. There's still a lot of take one opportunities. You know, when you make a change, you bring back your strike bowler, you give him the support, you close up the gaps, and you say to the batters, I'm going to try and strangle you, I'm going to try and get a wicket.
Yeah, with the field that's currently being set now, I understand what you're saying, because is basically allowing the strike bowler or the bowler to be able to bowl bad balls or balls that are nothing deliveries that they're not going to offer anything. Instead of asking your bowler to bowl good deliveries and have a very attacking field. It's puzzling stuff from the 6-gun Grill Garden Route Badgers. Michael Copeland rocks on the back foot, plays that for only a single, goes to the mid-wicket boundary. For a second there, the bowling team was interested.
Yeah, look, I think once you go attacking and you ask the bowler, you give a bowler a plan, and you get hit off that plan, I think everyone would understand it. Now, right now, you're not sure what the plan is, because there is a deep square leg, there's a sweeper on the offside, fine leg, and a third man. So when you look at the setup of the field, you're not quite sure what the plan is. So therefore, you're protecting anything that could be short and wide or short at the body. But that's not going to get you wickets. So you need to tighten it up, close up the gaps, and attack.
Solid defense from Michael Copeland to end the over. The score is 112 for 2 after 21 overs. There's a change of gloves from Michael Copeland, and once again a change in commentary. We will be having Mr. Ali Jack back in comms joining us for some premium commentary.
As we welcome back Sir Jack, Jacobs with his leg spin is going to carry on. I do feel that the Iinyathi side missed out on that first over of Jacobs, where he delivered about 4 long hops, and one of them happened to be a dropped catch. You know, you got to be top of your game. Dagwanate gets 1 to mid on.
With that shot, Rue moves to 45, rather 46. Copeland 34, and the partnership is 65. That's one thing the coach will be happy with. Dot ball there, and also in building that partnership you also need luck now and then, because we saw there was a drop catch by Icele. Maybe he was returning the favor, who knows. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yes. Shot.
Great shot there by Copeland on his back foot.
You know, Sir Jack, as the batting side, when there's calmness in your dugouts, that's what you want. You know, the guys that are batting in the middle have got control and there's calmness. It's when everyone's moving around and there's scratching of kit. Because then that says there's people that weren't being prepared to go out to bat. Now there's panic stations, everyone's looking for their pads because we're losing wickets. The control of the game inside of play has an effect on what happens in the dugout.
Indeed, you are 100% correct, OC. Doesn't look like it's turning He does not have a 10 now. It's Jacobs. I still think they will not be happy with the way the Badgers batted. Because during lunch, as we were sitting with the players, the Iinyathi players, they were mentioning strong players that they know are dangerous but got out cheaply. So they will regret the opportunities the visitors didn't use. And that's the end of the 22nd. The score now is 114 for 2.
Yeah, I think the Badgers went and set up the game well for them to finish it off on a high. But again, you know, as a coach or as a team, you never want to lose wickets in clusters. And that's what happened to them. They lost 3 wickets in a space of 5 overs, which then put them on the back foot. And then they couldn't just kick on and go and see out the 50 overs. So they had to be a little bit watchful, which cost them in the end, I think, about 30 runs. Shot.
Right, short, but there's a sweeper patrolling the boundary there.
So Jack, Copeland's hitting the ball nicely today. You know, Nathan Rue is doing what he's been doing the whole season. Hopefully he's going to go and get a big score. But it's good to see Michael Copeland moving well, hitting the ball well. For the setup of this Iinyathi team, he's needed to be doing his job at number 4.
Richter. Rue. Yeah, that's what I was saying to Kengesi. Misfield there. This is some rookie errors, man. You can't at this level be defending that target and then you're still throwing, you're still licking runs. Because I was telling Kengesi that, yeah, I've seen him bat, but now his approach is more responsible. Body behind the ball. Got a feeling he was gone. And his bat was on the air. Was not grounded at all.
Rescue run, that. I also do think, Sir Jack, when you've been left out of the playing 11, the next time you get given a chance, you make full use of it.
Beats mid wicket.